Time for more God of War. This whole stream will rhyme, I promise.
But it seems like already you've hit a miss.
You picked up the slack for me. And we are back where we need to be, getting this encoding, murdering screen off.
All I see are pixels and nightmares.
Yeah, that fire effect is rough. It looks great on my screen, and it looked great on the PS2, but streams don't like it. So as a little reminder, it's been a week. We ripped this guy's head off, the child of Pathos Verde III. The second child.
Hopefully he was at least a teenager, otherwise this got super grim.
Yeah. Pathos Verde 3.5 has been beheaded. And unfortunately, this, fancy cog with a chain on it doesn't do anything. We have to descend the stairs manually.
Opportunity.
Yeah. Just slow backtracking. No shortcuts.
I think I said last time, the game's usually very good about not making you backtrack too far or too hard.
Yeah.
Apparently this time, whoever did that was asleep on the watch.
Seems like it. Also, that giant staircase is all that Minotaur had to deal with for all eternity. Just standing back here. This is the only platform it could stand on. It couldn't go up the staircase. Poor guy was just slamming on that door.
Probably a blessing for him.
Yep. And yet he still resisted it with all his might. Good effect on the blood pool. We have to note.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Reflections are quite hard to render, especially on a PS2, so... A lot of work went into that for some reason.
All the things you could have done.
Yep.
Lord Hades.
Your progress is impressive, Kratos. But your skills will not carry you to your ultimate goal. I offer you the souls of Hades itself. The souls of the dead, who stand ready to fight by your side. Take this weapon, Kratos. Take this power, and use it to defeat your enemies.
Why is Hades a lamprey?
I was kind of expecting him to start talking like the grown-ups in Charlie Brown. Just womp 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 womp.
Yeah, there's most syllable sounds he cannot perform with his lips like that. Okay, a million homing shots.
I do not remember this skill in the game whatsoever.
Me neither. But it is pretty powerful. Send it out again. Have it kill everybody. The randomly flying enemies, like the harpies here, they're going to be much easier to deal with when the game just plays it for you.
What is this, Final Fantasy 13? Yeah, it's a game of joke ladies, gentlemen, and others.
Oh, that's right. The other analog stick is the roll in this game. Hitting the right trigger. Getting too much Souls-like games.
Yeah, this was in the days before they had that shit on lock.
Yep. Also, Hades doesn't give us infinite mana for this fight, but the other gods did.
Kratos.
Yep.
Go forth in the name of Olympus.
And it's actually possible when you get the first magic, I think is Poseidon's Rage.
Yeah.
Because they give you infinite magic in that area, it's possible to clip out of bounds. And because you haven't completed that area, the flag for it hasn't been triggered, you keep infinite magic throughout the entire game, even if you save and reload.
Yep, that's a very speedrunner exploit.
Never could get it to work back in the day, but apparently it is easier on New Game Plus when you don't really need it.
Yeah. The speedrunner tricks are always surprisingly difficult. They make them look easy.
Oh yeah.
They never actually are. How much backtracking do you think we have to do here?
Lots, I'm gonna guess.
Because we are 1 trillion miles away from the Rings of Pandora, which is our ultimate goal.
Unless the game opens up a shortcut for us, I think we're probably going to be in for the long haul.
It wouldn't surprise me, but it would be terrifyingly brutal of them.
As I said, they admitted in interviews after the fact that as the game went on, they were under increased pressure to get the game shipped on time, so they didn't have as much time to design or bug crunch as they might normally.
Yeah, you see that in a lot of games. And the padding didn't end up being that bad. I wouldn't have minded being a little shorter, but there we go.
Yeah.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. Opening up the big statue, so there's a second gem. We can connect them with lasers. The ancient Greek tradition of lasers.
Or is it not written that but thou must spin them jewels fast?
Yep.
That's how that goes, right? I don't know music.
Now, we got 3 rings to align. I don't know how to align them. We have no sense of space.
I remember being super impressed by the scope of this back in the day.
It is a thing. Granted that. Guess we should probably start with the outermost ring and work inwards, so that we know we're not working against what we need to ultimately do.
Yeah, I think you've got the middle ones, or the middle one lined up. It's just really working out where the outer one is.
Yeah. So this should be the outermost. And we find the platform, we spin it around for a surprisingly long time because this ring is huge. What's in here? Nope. That was the Muse area. Which means
Should
we
be
can
back
only...
from there?
Yeah. And we can only turn this one direction.
Of course.
So we need to go all the way around. Like, I'm trying to push it. I would love to push it. Kratos won't push it.
Seems like kind of an oversight, but oh well.
Yep. So we need to do a full revolution of the entire ring.
See, when I asked for revolution against the gods, this wasn't quite what I had in mind.
Nope. Kratos is a big old tool of the gods.
It's just a big old tool, full stop.
Yeah, no kidding. But our chores are far from over, I guess.
Well, according to Hercules in the third game, he's still got it easier than him.
Are those Hercules' final words?
Almost. In the fight against him, he goes on this big rant about how, well, you were being made god of war and beating the shit out of Ares. I was made to clean up horse shit in a stable. Does that sound fair to you? And he's just staring at him with complete disgust the entire time, like, that's on you, buddy.
Yep. What a dork.
I kind of had to lose my family in the process. What's your fucking excuse? Like, Hercules in this series is portrayed as a gigantic douchebag, which is kind of fitting considering Kevin Sorbo's career path.
Exactly. They were predictive.
Unfortunately so.
Yep. Okay, that's lined up. Is the god's face lined up? No.
No.
I have to turn the statue as well.
Doesn't look like you need to do it very... Oh no, it's clockwise rather than anti-clockwise.
Oh, yeah. And compensate for the smaller area we have to turn by making it turn slower.
Yeah.
There. We're all lined up.
Okay. Looks like we're good.
Finally.
I think we're fairly close to the end of the game. Should only be maybe 2 sessions at most. And even then, second one will either be one really long session or one normal size and one short one.
Right. Which is only surprising in the sense that we haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
Like, the whole game has been tutorial.
Yeah, because I'm fairly certain we've got all the... If you go into the stat screen, we should have all the skills and items.
You are correct. That should have been Hades' thing. Would be the last.
Yep.
Yep. Speaking of which, that takes 4,500 to upgrade. Medusa's head only takes 3k, and we got it. Let's make this thing actually useful.
Should give you an AoE attack if I remember correct.
Yeah, Gorgon Flash it looks like there. L2 plus triangle. And, you shoot it in the air. It seems less useful, but maybe, if we could grab people in the air.
I literally do not remember a single time when I needed to do it in there.
Yeah. Seems like a feature you would just forget about, due to its general lack of usefulness.
Basically.
Yeah, we are neck deep in God of War. And summoning a giant statue to do something? This has been a long, long, long time coming, getting this one statue activated.
This is what the entire game has been leading up to in one way or another.
Yep. Like 3 sessions just working on the Race of Pandora, I think.
Yep. So this section by itself accounts to for at least half the game.
A lot of fanfare.
God of War, compared to other games like, say, Ninja Gaiden or Devil May Cry, has always felt a lot more slapdash by comparison.
It is profoundly shallow for a character action game.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievably so. It's all about the style, and it has a tremendous amount of style.
Yeah. This is definitely a series where, you know, shallow isn't bad. It's just
Exactly.
bad by comparison, you know? Like, the third game in particular is probably the best the series has ever been. But, you know, you compare it
Your
to
progress is impressive,
even the first
Kratos.
Devil May Cry, it's
But
like,
be warned.
it's not that
Once
great.
you ascend
Yeah.
to the upper levels of the temple, you will not be able to return without Pandora's box.
Okay, point of no return. But there's nothing else to do down here, because we got the music
Yeah.
keys.
I think all you're really missing
As
is maybe
Kratos
1 or
rose
2
through the
Phoenix
massive
feathers, and that's
temple
about it.
constructed
If
to
that,
guard
yeah.
Pandora's box. He realized it was a monument not only to the gods of Olympus, but to the madness of the warlord who had designed it.
And we've seen it before as we played through the game. There's a tremendous number of ideas, and a lot of them are bad, but they're in the game anyway.
Above would test even the great-
It adds a lot of variety, but a lot of frustration as you get to the good parts.
Yeah. It feels like a game that was designed without the prospect of sequels in mind, you know? Very, let's just get everything into this game that we can, regardless of whether it's a good idea or not. Because we don't know if we're going to have a chance to get the second one out.
Yeah, I mean, you might think that, but franchise potential was very, very obvious from day one. That's probably why it got so much attention from Sony.
I mean, he's probably about as close to a mascot as they've got these days.
Yeah, for enduring characters that they stuck with, it's Kratos.
Yeah, I can do that too.
I just don't want to. Like, if you look at the
I can do
cast
that,
of,
but, just 8.
yeah, if you look at the PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale cast, Kratos probably has the longest history of any character in that
Yeah, the only other character who would... I mean, Crash Bandicoot's not in it.
game. Yeah, like, there are older characters in the game, but they've all been long since abandoned by Sony.
Yeah, the only one who's really got any kind of longer heritage would be Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, and Sweet Tooth is long since abandoned. He's coming back, but he's been abandoned for the last decade.
Yeah. Nathan Drake, there hasn't been a Uncharted game in at least 4 or 5 years.
Yep, and that series started late in the PS3, I think.
Yep. Sly Cooper, PS2, haven't seen a game from them in at least 12 years.
Yep.
Ratchet and Clank had a game out just a few years ago, but again, that was early to mid PS2 era.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank would be a competitor, but they had a lot of time off. Probably more than God of War.
Yeah. Only other one that's I can think of that is still getting attention would be Isaac Clarke from the DLC. Since we're getting a new
Kratos
Dead
had been in
Space.
service to the gods long enough to know the Harpy had been sent as a warning, a reminder from his former master of the decision that had cost Kratos everything. Had it been
Strangely
that
subtle reminder from the
Yeah, I was gonna say, Ares, god of subtlety, was the exact words I was gonna say.
long since he traded everything to save himself.
Ares!
The sky split apart, and the god of war stepped through.
What is it now?
Descending from Olympus, he saw the makings of a god in a mere mortal. Ares would save Kratos. He would turn him into the perfect warrior, his servant on Earth. Only a simple pledge of loyalty was required.
My life is yours, Ares. From this day, I shall carry forth your will.
And his fate was sealed. As promised, Ares rescued his new disciple, bringing forth the power of a god, destroying those who would slaughter Kratos and his men.
The thing they never talked about was, in Myth and Legend, was Ares' phenomenal psychic powers,
Only
apparently.
sword and
Yep.
shield would befit the newest servant of the gods.
Very strange characterization of Ares in this game. And again, Poseidon shoots lightning in this game,
The
so
blades of chaos.
True.
Forged
Consistent in that way.
the foulest depths of Hades. Once attached, the chains remained so, chained and seared to the flesh, a part of the bearer's body, a permanent reminder of Kratos' pledge. In return,
Incredibly shiny teeth in that
ultimate
cutscene.
power. The rage of Ares exploded from within. But soon, he would learn
decapitated
true
John
cost
Rhys
of such
Davies.
power.
No,
Cost too
Treebeard!
high even for Kratos to pay.
Wretched beast! I know who it is you serve. Return to your master. Tell the god of war
Don't you
I am
dare
his
talk to
no
Richard
longer.
O'Brien like that.
Tell him he is not safe while I walk the earth. I will find Pandora's box. And I will use it to see him tremble and fall before me.
yep, we don't have a choice at this point. Cliffs of Madness. That should be fun.
Well, then that's a pretty shitty maze if it doesn't have a way out.
We might just spend the rest of our lives in the Maze of Madness.
P.S. I don't know the difference between a maze and a hole. Please advise.
Very obvious breakable wall. I've seen Dwayne Johnson in Kratos, and in that last cutscene, he looked briefly like Nathan Explosion. Just needs a big old mop of black hair.
Whoa, brutal.
He sounds like Nathan Explosion.
Yeah, the guy that played Kratos in the first 3 games could very easily be the front man for Thrash Metal Band.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta pull out the lightning bolts. Is that what you want me to do? Okay. Finally exploded. Delayed reaction explosion.
Kratos explosion.
Love that they made a big deal about the Blades of Chaos in that cutscene, and I no longer use them.
Yeah, you got about a third of the way through the game, you got the Blade of Athena, and it's like, Chaos? What?
Yep.
New weapon, who did?
Throw my signature blades in the trash. Except they're fused to my skin. So that guy's got a bow trained on my back, but he's not firing.
I think he might have despawned already.
Possibly. But he was definitely ready to shoot me, then changed his mind.
He must be the smartest minion in this entire game.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay,
other
if I
rope
shoot him,
sequence.
he's gonna murder me in the face.
Well, every other... The rope sequences have killed me more than anything else in this game, so...
Yeah. I think
That was his chance.
I think you've only really died twice from actual enemies. Everything else is the environment.
Yep. Tricks and traps. Floor that falls out from underneath
Doom
you.
level ever.
Yep.
The sacrifice room where you need to push the guy in the cage up. Very little. We got it first time.
Yeah, I was born to perform human sacrifices, so... That was no
Not
problemo.
But it did also give us the wonderful Rob Paulson screaming sound effect.
Yep.
where he slides back maybe 3 inches and goes, no! The entire time.
Yep.
That was brilliant. I think the most trouble we had this playthrough was the time room with the collapsing floor.
Yeah. Which then...
took that took at least 4 maybe 5 attempts.
something like that. 2 or 3 before I even figured it out.
Yeah.
And 1 or 2 more to actually complete it. So, there we go. That's a flash freeze. It's not nearly fast enough.
It's probably more designed for stuff like the Harpies, so you can just go boom, dead, boom, dead.
It does seem to be like relative to the enemy's health pool, whether or not it actually freezes them outright, or if it just gets them closer to being frozen. If they'd said that when I bought the upgrade, I probably wouldn't have bought it.
Yeah.
Oh, also the room with the falling floor was the one where after we beat it, we went and went to a different area. I fell in a pit, and then it checkpointed me before completing the room with the falling floor.
Yeah, that's right. There's been a couple of sections where you've done a puzzle or gotten an item, gone back, gone to where it's meant to be used and find out it hasn't checkpointed you after the room.
Yeah, that was like
That's
the big one.
yeah.
And I would say is absolutely an oversight. Like, that should not have happened.
Yeah. Yeah, have you done any of the QTEs against the Satyrs yet?
I have not.
I might be confusing it with the second and third games, but they have some very cool QTE finishers.
I think I would have to have my Blades of Chaos out. If nothing else, for the fact that my sword does way too much damage and chops them apart.
Yeah.
Got a QTE finisher on me.
Yeah, maybe Rage of the Gods, just to be safe.
I don't have it.
Oh, I forget, you can't trigger it early in this one, can you?
You certainly can't. I started that fight too poorly.
Oh, okay, maybe they must be thinking of the later games then.
Yeah, because they're not giving it up
Yeah.
QTE-wise.
Because they have one of the finishers is you spear them in the stomach and just rip it all the way up their torso. It is phenomenally good. And then the third one, that was when they started going, oh wait, we have the technology to have organs spilling out from every major wound.
Don't have to pre-render it anymore. In-engine guts. What were these guys doing while I was doing all that combat?
Cheering on.
Must have been.
Let the rage of the gods drive your blades, Kratos.
Just want the health chest.
Just give me the health. No one needs to get hurt. Definitely not me.
Of course there's respawns. Why wouldn't there be?
Where the hell were you when your buddies were getting killed?
Alright.
At least you waited
Screw
until
this.
you got it open.
Oh, it just brought me back here. Why did I want to go back here? I did not.
I think you might have been going in the right direction.
Yeah. But why do they even open that shortcut back to where I've already been? Probably later on, when we're backtracking through here, that'll make things a little faster. If I had to call it now. And yet, nothing up here.
Okay, now I'm just. Is there a walkway behind the chest?
It really looked like a dead end. I think this whole area is entirely optional. Yeah, it does look like a pathway, but no, that's not.
Yes, it looks like there should be a tunnel leading behind it.
Yep,
Just with the camera angle.
yep. But no, invisible wall.
There
So,
we go.
that was just for a health chest. The whole purpose of that area. Couldn't even put a Gorgon Eye in there.
I don't think there's actually much more in the way of pickups other than health and experience chests for the rest of the game.
Yeah. There'd be no further upgrades, so... Red orbs are about all they have to give us.
Mhm.
Going indoors appears to be a waste of time. So we'll stay outdoors this time and see if this is the correct branch. Love those delayed reactions.
They're very anime.
You're already dead. Show my sword techniques before dismembering him. Okay. Apparently this one was a dead end.
David
As always.
Jaffe is just like, you fool, you absolute goddamn fool.
Yep. I left you no signpost and you still took the wrong way. How dare you? Okay, I guess the big golden head above the archway might have been a signpost. I do like how most of the enemies are not real damage sponges. However, we have a fully upgraded super weapon, so maybe they are damage sponges. Launching enemies is super inconsistent.
I always felt like the launching was really just more for the Blades of Chaos. Like, why they give it to the Blade of Athena is beyond me, because you can't really follow it up in any meaningful way.
Yeah, you certainly can't, but you can use it to juggle if you're clever. Which is cheesy and unsatisfying, but pretty effective.
Yes, but we're not here to have fun, we're here to beat the game.
It's true. It's all that matters. There really is a very PS2 design philosophy. You must get to the end. I don't care if you have fun, you're getting to the end.
Playing games for fun. What kind of a moron are you?
Yeah. They didn't even have achievements on your console. You could show your friends, look, I did the tedium. Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
like
I
it.
thought that was what was going to
I
happen.
get it.
For this bit.
Then you wait.
Yeah, the weapons in this game definitely don't feel balanced. I feel like they just included this to give you a different type of weapon to use.
Yeah.
It's definitely designed with using the Blades of Chaos throughout.
Uh-huh. It's very much Devil May Cry did it, so we should have at least one alternate weapon in the game.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 1 did actually have just one alternate weapon in the game. You got swords or you got gloves.
Oh, yeah. You did have, like, multiple forms, though.
Yeah, you had a ton of swords and one set of gloves. The swords were all effectively identical.
You did have, like, 3 or 4 different guns, though. 'Cause you had Ebony and Ivory, you had the shotgun, you had the Nightmare Laser.
And the
I think
grenade
that was
launcher.
all, wasn't it?
Nope.
Grenade launcher, yeah.
The most important one, because you could roll cancel it.
And the needle launcher in the underwater sections, which everyone wants to do.
Yeah, that's true. Those are practically non-canon.
Those were in Devil May Cry 2, which we also don't talk about.
That's for damn sure.
It was infecting the previous game from the future.
Yep. Here's our damage sponges.
Onimusha is one of those games I always wanted to like more, but then they brought in sliding puzzles and I just didn't want to play it anymore. Especially tight sliding puzzles. There's one bit where you have to save the lady ninja from... she's drowning or something, and you've got maybe 90 seconds to do a sliding puzzle, and if you're not looking up a walkthrough, it takes forever.
Yeah, that sounds nightmarish.
Yep, never finished the first game, just on that, say, for that reason alone.
Yeah.
Lady Ninja saved the samurai. Wrong way around. Either way, it sucks. I hate it.
Yep. Speaking of unnecessary swimming segments, here we go.
Probably have enough to be able to upgrade the Hades weapon now.
Maybe. It was 4,500. I've got...
plenty.
Yeah, tons. I'm shocked by how much I got there.
Yeah, once you get towards the end of the game, the amount of experience they throw at you is unreal. Especially in the chests.
Because we've only bought, like, 2 upgrades per melee weapon and 1 upgrade per magic for a single-digit number of upgrades throughout the entire game so far.
I think each magic only goes up to level 3.
Yeah. Apparently everything besides the Blades of Chaos only goes up to level 3.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And it seems like the only reason I came here is for those chests. 'Cause I don't see anything else to do. So back down. Wouldn't be so bad if this segment weren't so long.
Yeah, it's not just that it's long, it's that there's no interesting set pieces in this particular part.
Yeah, there's nothing to do
It's-
while swimming, so it's
Yeah.
always pointless.
And everything so far since getting through the rings has just been go to area, fight, go to area, fight.
Yep. Just combat room after combat room.
Yeah. I will give the game its due once you get to the last couple of boss fights in the game. It does pick up a hell of a lot. But things do start becoming a bit of a slog from this point onwards.
Yeah, we're like done with the Pandora dungeon, but not officially.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we need to do some busy work. It hasn't been quite long enough. So we need to go find necklaces.
The fashion accessories of the gods.
Indeed. We've been conscripted for our jewelry expertise. At long last.
Picturing Kratos with one of those jeweler's looks, still frowning. These diamonds are only 13 carats.
Well, I had a good idea. I gotta use my whole rage. And these suckers will not die. They can dodge anything.
These
They can respawn.
guys are... The satyrs are probably the most difficult regular enemies in the game.
Yeah, you do meet them super late. I was actually kind of surprised they weren't more difficult,
Yeah.
given how late they appear.
Like, the Cyclopses in that have more health and potentially can do more damage, but Satyrs can just juggle you endlessly.
Yeah. Is this a forced combat room?
Yep.
Disagree.
Ah, no. I thought I saw the red flash over the doorway.
Yeah, not yet. Okay, what's this about? This button.
Oh, I completely forgot about these.
Interesting.
Yeah, kill all these dudes first, and then I completely forgot that they had these puzzles in this game. These are actually pretty good.
Interesting. Oh, these upgraded Minotaurs take all day to kill. I'm gonna go near them with the Blades of Chaos until I get those upgraded at least one more time. If I even bother to do that.
If I remember, you... Now, I don't want to spoil too much, but your main boss fights, you will want to upgrade them at least once more for one of the last boss fights. If only for the convenience, because one boss fight you're limited to play.
The upgrade menu said the only effect from getting the next upgrade is more attacks.
Yeah.
So like you gain new abilities. Presumably good abilities.
Plus every level your attacks just get boosted.
I mean, usually it tells you, like, stronger attacks as one of the effects. But that upgrade just says more attacks, to my recollection. Okay. Music says
There's a
everyone's
little-
dead.
Booklet there.
Yeah. Build Old Pathos Verde's soul.
The Terry hints of ancient Greece.
Got a block. It's not tall enough, though. It's like a Tetris thing. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, with this we can turn them the way we need to.
Yep.
So this obviously is going to need to turn 90 degrees. Monsters are still roaring just off screen. I don't know why.
Backseat gaming.
Yep. Oh, I guess maybe it needs to go the other way. Damn, you Tetris blocks.
Yeah, this puzzle is genuinely pretty clever.
It's something. There's thought put into this. There are a lot of Tetris blocks I'm noticing.
Yep.
B block here. It's impressive that Kratos can move these at all, but for gameplay reasons, they should move so much faster.
Oh yeah, they take that into consideration in the later games in the series. It was one of the top complaints that people had.
Yeah.
Was that if you weren't stopping to kick every 5 seconds, then just pushing anything took forever.
Yep. And even the kick takes so long to charge.
Yep.
Back in there. I do like how maneuverable we are. He's able to slide around this little block.
Yeah, the fact that you can push and pull is very underappreciated because I've played so many games where you can only push.
Oh yeah. I mean, with the handle, the crank, we can only push it, so... Even this game made that mistake in some ways.
Well, that was pathetic.
Fantastic kick there, Kratos. Should join a soccer team. Now we've almost accomplished our goal of fully blocking the door we need to get through. Seems counterintuitive, but miraculously, it solves the problem.
Yeah, that one block there, if I remember, is just there to throw you off.
Yep. Yes, take the necklace.
Kratos wishes to feel pretty.
Green is my color. And I guess that means backtracking.
Head over to the left again, just quickly. Just
Over
there's
this one.
there's a torch there. I'm just not sure. Yeah, it's another. Yeah, again, it looks like it should be a tunnel there.
Yeah, there are platforms above us, indicating something.
Yeah, I think you can get up there with the blocks before you start looking around with them, but it's just more experience orbs than that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Little secret area.
Yeah, nothing particularly important.
Yeah, would have been excruciating to move the blocks into position to make it a little ramp. So I'm glad I missed that. Okay. I thought we were gonna knock that wall down, but no, we started climbing it. I like they let us jump to speed things up a little bit.
Later on, you can just hold it's R2 or R1, and you just speed your way through it. Again, that was another major complaint that people had, was that you just moved too slowly when you were climbing or crawling up a wall.
Yep. All segments are pretty excruciating, and I don't know why they gave us this platform. Why am I here? This is like an intentional dead end wrong way.
Yeah, probably.
9
It
hits
was just
to knock off
not
one enemy.
taking the hit.
Yep. I mean, once they get hit once, they're stun locked.
The thing is, it's not like there's enough enemies on screen right now. They can go rush it.
Yeah, they're not even really trying.
Literally just like 1 or 2 per area.
Glitch that out by throwing him too short a distance.
Just standing there like, ah. I feel really silly.
Yeah, he did a big scream like, "Oh god, I'm so dead." And he just stood there. Oh, I'm at the bottom of a giant pit.
Imagine landing like that would have really fucked up his ankles though.
True, yeah. Just needed to take off those stupid cool shades. A little rest area with a magic refill. It's like if Kratos were a real human, he would be thrilled to have those little rest areas. But he's a video game character who can climb infinitely.
And God knows I would. I can barely climb stairs.
Yeah. Maybe they were gonna have like a Shadow of the Colossus style grab strength meter. They yanked out of the last second for being a terrible idea. Oh, great.
Oh wow.
Didn't feel like grabbing the ledge. But the rest area was a little checkpoint, thankfully. Oh, what the hell?
Ah.
They pushed me back onto the edge, and then I wasn't allowed to grab the edge anymore. Because they were guarding that spot.
You should be. It looks like you should be able to climb down from this one.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It's slightly less efficient, but seems to be what we have to do. It is a dead end.
At least so you can attack them.
Yeah, they're crowding this spot way too much, so... causes the game to glitch out. So we have to exploit it.
We'll be here for the next week and a half.
Once I'm in, we're all set. Okay, he grabbed me first.
He's looking at you like, hey, what a great idea.
Doesn't look like a necklace. This is what I'm here for. That is quite a ways away. At least they gave us some spatial indication of what just happened, but we have to go through the whole climbing sequence again.
There's a few areas in the game where you kind of feel like they've just given up on making a cohesive map. Fine, just backtrack for the next 10 hours.
Yep. No other way around it. Hope you liked crawling slowly across walls. Because you're nowhere near done with it. There's also no great indication of where we've been, so this is also a bit of a memory test.
Yeah. And it's not like you can go, oh, okay, we just go where the enemies are because they keep respawning.
Yep, they are absolutely everywhere. And wrong turn. They let you go all the way to the bottom, though.
Wasting your time.
Yep. They let you go all the way to the bottom before they tell you you fucked up. You can't jump down. You can jump up and to the side, but if you're descending, you must go as slowly as possible.
Yeah, It's not until the second game he learns he can stab his blades into the wall and just slide down.
Yeah. Which makes no physical sense, but is a good design choice.
Definitely a better design choice, that much is for certain.
Yeah. Was I supposed to take a separate exit from the climbing maze?
Possibly?
Looks like it. A branching climbing path.
Should have brought a book so I could just start reading it to the chat.
Yeah. So I am going to start playing Salt and Sanctuary when we finish this. And in Salt and Sanctuary, Salt and Sacrifice, told you I was going to make that mistake. I figured out what that bar next to the weapon does.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called the Rage Meter. And weird. There we go. It charges up as you deal damage. And it is basically the game's spell system. And it is unique to each weapon.
Oh, okay, so it's kind of like weapon skills in Dark Souls.
Yes, very probably. Similar concept there. I'm not familiar with that concept, but it sounds very similar.
Dark Souls, it changes from game to game. Some games have it, some don't. But generally, in at the very least, the first, the third, and in Elden Ring, every weapon has a special attack which uses magic.
Yeah.
And each one is unique to. Some are unique to the weapon. It's a unique weapon. Others, it's like all generic clubs will have this. Short swords and long swords will have this, and so forth. Fancier weapons will have unique attacks.
Yep, sounds like a similar concept. The thing is, you need the glyph reader ability in the skill tree in order to use the glyphs on your weapons.
That's
So
why it wasn't doing anything when you tried.
Exactly. We legitimately had not unlocked the ability to use the Rage Meter.
Okay, so does that mean there's no MP or anything in the game?
There is not, as far as I can tell. Weapons will have their own specific resource.
Yeah, because I noticed when we were going through, I can't remember if it was the skill tree or some of the items, but it did make mention of a rage meter.
Right.
So I figured that was what that was.
Indeed it was. There's also a focus meter that some of the weapons will have as an alternative to the rage meter. And it starts out full and then you deplete it. And that works very similarly to mana. But your weapon either has a rage glyph or a focus glyph. Which are two different skill sets, and you do have to buy them separately in the skill tree.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
I love it when a game goes like, okay, you can't have the skill right out the gate. You need to buy the opportunity to buy the skill.
Yep.
Those kind of double unlocks. It's like, just give me the skill already. If I have to charge up the meter, fine, but just let me use it.
Yeah. It is a really cool mechanic. Very, very poorly explained to the player. Which is very Dark Souls in that way. Granted that.
Yeah, as I think I said during the stream, there was stuff about Dark Souls 2 that I think easily took people a couple of years to actually be like, okay, this is what this does. Like when Demon Souls came out, people legitimately didn't know what poise was. That took a good long while for people to come to grips with.
Yeah, it does sound important. But I believe it with how weird and secretive they are about information. Kratos clipped through that rope like 5 times. Just refused to
Yeah,
grab
I was like, I'm fairly certain that is a rope you can climb, right?
Yeah,
He seems determined not to.
just going through it over and over. Guess that's a shortcut. By shortcut, I mean very, very slow rotation. And I wonder if this is going to impale me.
Well, this doesn't look appealing.
But here we have more soldiers that made it through the entire Pandora dungeon and through all the maps, all the mazes and stuff we've been through. Got all the way here just to get impaled. They must have raised the statue to get here.
Yep, destroyed basically everything else standing in the way, only to
Yep.
fall at the very last minute.
Very impressive. They got the opportunity to get impaled. Oh, and it's a block escort puzzle, too. At least it's sort of on wheels, so it goes a really long distance when you kick it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ah.
That's where I wanted it.
And that's an excellent demonstration of what not to do. Now we'll show you precisely how to do that puzzle properly.
Yep. Kick it on over. There we finally.
There we go.
Now to not fall. There.
Don't be Phil.
Flush that necklace right into our inventory.
Just hope Aphrodite doesn't inquire too closely as to where it came from.
They are very, very defensive of these random necklaces. Where's the exit? There it is.
Welcome to God of War, where the jewelry has better security than the forbidden weapons that we leave lying all around the place.
Yep. And we get to backtrack for a good long while. It was over here, right? Because I passed it on my way back.
Yeah, that's the spinny bridge.
Yep. I don't want to do this puzzle if I don't have to, but apparently we have to do it 3 times.
You know, it's like with the mini-boss encounters. If it's worth doing once, it's worth doing ad infinitum.
Indeed.
Yeah, the priorities of the gods were, shall we say, not normally aligned with those of mortal men.
Yep.
Looking at you, Zeus. Looking at you.
One shiny gem, that should be worth about infinite mortal lives.
Well, I mean, that's the great thing about mortals. You can always make more of them.
Love how the heads are so excited to have their necklace back when they do a spin.
Really missing an automated sort of whee kind of noise.
Yep. This whole game is desperate for way more Wii noises.
I mean, he could at least attempt that when he goes down one of the zip lines.
Yep. Hard to game on it.
Stony faced, frowning the entire time, going. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, that's a bit of a safety net. No matter how many times I screw up that jump, I would probably land on the lower platform.
Maybe a running jump with that one.
Yeah, it's all about jumping slightly before it hits the furthest extension. Cutscene. Glorious.
The path before Kratos was clear, but still, the memories came rushing back, as familiar and permanent as the blades chained to
My
his
God,
wrists.
look at my nipples.
Memories of what he'd done in the name of Ares. Memories of how he'd become a servant to the god of war.
That stuff he still does. He's done this stuff in the game, and he has no problem with it.
Placed only with the will to murder. No one was safe. Entire armies fell before Kratos.
You call it murder,
and the
I call it
soldiers who
recreational
followed him on his
activities.
unending path of conquest, all in the name of his master. Those who offered resistance of any kind were dealt with quickly.
They've built this temple to offer prayers to Athena! This entire village stands as an affront to Lord Ares! Burn this village! Burn it to the ground!
Kratos misread the entire Greek pantheon as the Highlander series. Thought there could be only one.
Feared throughout the world for their brutality.
Household gods? What are
Was
those?
conquest
Yeah.
in the name of Kratos, their great leader, who had become near invincible. He feared nothing. But there was something about
The gods have
this
never been like friends, but they certainly have never tried to exterminate all the other gods.
All his instincts told him he should never cross its threshold.
Well, there was that time
step
that
inside.
Zeus
Beware,
nearly got
The
Hermes
dangers
killed.
in the temple are greater than you know.
Yeah, but that's just one
The
god.
village oracle's warning fell on deaf ears.
Drop in the
His
bucket.
ambition would not be denied. All who opposed him would die.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool.
Take that, Wilhelm.
Take that, Will Wheaton.
In that instant, the glory he had reveled in turned to horror. The image of his two final victims would stay with him for all his days.
Final
With
victims.
that act, Kratos knew he
Final.
could no longer
Quote,
serve
unquote.
his master. He had but one calling now, the death of Ares. He would murder the god of war.
He has the most ambivalent murder boner ever now.
Yep. His whole reaction was just to drop to his knees. Like, that's the one time he has regrets. And the one time he doesn't scream.
Okay, well, that was completely pointless.
Yep, every time. They don't force you to do much combat. Dudes will literally kill the god that made them invincible, and then go to therapy.
No wonder Elon Musk loves this series.
There's probably secret chests on the platform I just ran past, but don't need them. Running circles just as a reminder of how these things usually work.
don't recall there being much in the way of like treadmill platforms that you need to power like that.
Yeah. Like, they were a big
Probably
thing
a couple,
on the
but-
N64
Oh yeah.
as a big gimmick, like, ooh, look what analog stick can do. On the PS2, that was rote. Very low polygon skeleton.
Here lies original PS1 Lara Croft. Oh god, I remember this, but it can suck a dick.
Interesting. Usually these buttons are timed.
Yep.
Yep, it's making a ticking sound. And the door's not even open.
Yep. Remember there is another switch you need to hit on the opposite side. But yeah, this is basically a glorified game of Frogger.
Yeah. And even if we make it all the way to the other side, we're still not guaranteed to do what we need to do. Not by a long shot. Cool. Can't move. What?
Yep, that's why.
That blade was on the other side of the platform I was trying to land on.
Yeah, the collision detection on this bit is atrocious.
Yeah.
There will be... It feels like the blades, the hitboxes on them, jut out like a good foot or two either side of them.
Yep. There, I was going to jump and just didn't at the last second. Probably would have died anyway.
No, this bit took me forever.
Hopefully it doesn't take us forever. Platforms are at least lined up nicely for a change. But now what? There's another button. Perfect. Love it. Okay, this one we need to put a statue on.
Yep.
And then go back and press the button again? That's horrible.
I'll tell you about that bit.
Good old anything worth doing is worth doing ad infinitum. Out of war.
Yeah, there comes to it gets to a certain point where like they are actively taking the piss now, aren't they?
Something like that.
Like they don't want to challenge you, they want to make you hurt.
Just make sure there's no more puzzles I gotta solve over here. This is something. Break it like this.
I think there's this bit. There's a statue upstairs that you need to drop.
Ah. So we've broken walls that looked much less flimsy than that.
Yeah. I mean, those ones just had vague cracks. That looks like it'll collapse if you just put your pinky on it.
Yeah, I almost figured if I jumped on it, it'd break.
Yeah. Fairly certain this whole section is about you getting a statue to drop down there, though.
Nope. Don't want to quit the game. I mean, I do, but I shouldn't yet.
I mean, priorities.
Yeah. And you can't see this is spinning blade that is most dangerous to you from the camera angle. Okay. Made it back. I think if I throw down a save, I won't have to redo that even if I screw this up. Worth a shot anyway.
Not sure, but good idea either way.
Yeah, that's how it worked in the Poseidon trial. Maybe it'll work that way here as well.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, no kidding. Glorious.
Oh,
Coming in from off screen, that blade. we get there, I hammer the door open button. It sent chips off of the door.
Yeah.
But that happens with a lot of the doors. I can grab this. Maybe I didn't need to do that puzzle at all.
Well, that's just embarrassing.
Yep. I need a big sword to relieve my puzzle-related frustrations. You're the volunteer.
I think that's bad. Should have seen the time Kratos got his hands on a Rubik's Cube. There were no survivors that day.
Truly. Hey, Mega Cyclops. I don't care.
This might be the bit I'm thinking of with the dropping the statue. Yeah. Big stone block.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Sometimes he doesn't want to grab the thing. Sometimes he does. Now what? Cut it down. I probably should not retract it. I think I need that to exit the crater.
Yeah, more than likely.
There were also this here.
Poppy!
Okay. Okay, this is a secret. Good. Hey, magic upgrade.
And that should be all of them.
Looks like it. It's going all the way to the end of my blade, so there we go.
So now any chests that you find that would have contained Gorgonite or Phoenix Feathers will just have a absolute shitload of feathers in them.
Ah, nice. Yeah, that's how it works. I like it. But they would put bonus ones in the game.
Yep.
Give you experience for finding them.
Yep. With the later games in the series, you can basically have... Oh, okay, that's how that's done.
Yeah, but now I need something to weigh that down.
Should be able to lift the block up and then put it on. Or not. Yeah.
No, yeah, the block has no clean path.
Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, the later games, you can pretty much max out your health and magic and items by like a third of the way through.
Oh, nice.
They are very generous with the items, the upgrade items.
Yeah. And from then on, you get a lot of bonus experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only thing I have to weigh things down is this one statue. So that's a problem.
Do you want me to go check a guide or something?
Yeah, we wasted way more than enough time on this fucking puzzle.
Oh yeah, I'd say so.
Wrong enemies there. I was hoping they would go for the Cyclopses.
So I think this is the Architect's Tomb monster then.
Something like that.
Yeah, we've really only got like 2 or 3 major sections to go. Here we go. Turn the lever so the crane's weight shadow is over the cracked ground.
Yep.
Lift it up again using the lever and... Ah, that's it. Okay. You should be able to go back up to the crane.
Yeah.
You should be able to move it over to where the button is, and you push the statue down.
Wait, what?
There's a lever at the end of the crane, so go and pull it to smash the ground. Lift it up again using the lever, and turn the crane so the shadow is over the button on the other side.
Oh, yeah. I got you now. So the statue takes care of the lower button, and then the crane block takes care of the upper button.
Yeah. Grab the statue in the back left corner, pick it all the way over to the other side, drop it down the now broken pit, and set it on top of the button.
Acceptable.
That's admittedly that is pretty clever, just really annoying.
Yep. Tremendously annoying.
I'll keep the guide up just in case.
Yeah. Gotta be the last Cyclops. Here's what I think of your statue.
Fuck you, Pathos Verde the Third.
Yep. It's a good thing everything has the heaviest base in the world, so that
Yeah.
it cannot turn over when being pushed off of edges. Walled myself in. For the love of God, Montresor.
Yes, for the love of God.
For the love of God of War.
I see what you did there.
I don't think I can get there from
Just
here.
standing there like, well, I don't know what to do now.
What's this guy doing? Guess I'll puke more
Yeah, so
babies.
Just there like, yeah, so I was telling Martha that I was going to take the kids down to the... Oh shit, here we come.
Yep, wrong way. And it has momentum. So when I start turning it the wrong way, I have to slow it down, then turn it the other way. And look at that. The exact distance it needs to be away from the platform to hit this button.
So it's a clever little puzzle, just a bit too complicated for a game of this kind.
There are definitely 3 too many steps.
Yep.
Having to go back and forth through this whole section. That's the part I reject vehemently. Yeah, PS1s
so
are really bad
saving-
about save slots.
Yeah, so saving your game would literally take about a minute.
Yep, I have seen that from playing PS1 games on accurately emulated hardware. PS3 goes out of its way to be as close to a PS1 as possible, to its own detriment. Like it caps disk read speed, when it could uncap it and be the best PS1 emulator in the world, but it chooses not to.
Yeah, so glad I never dicked around with PS1 stuff on the PS3 too often.
Yeah. I mean, I like it, but it's better on PS2. My PS2 no longer has functional backwards compatibility for most games. She was right. This guy's got a lot in common with Kratos.
Now, time for some atrocious puppetry of the damned.
Just behead this guy's whole family.
Maybe it's just me, but is it not kind of weird making locks that respond to the skulls of your family before they're dead?
Yeah, somewhere along the way, he was like, okay, I just need to measure your skull and hope that whoever completes this dungeon doesn't rip your head off. The gods have said they're not allowed to complete it, so... Don't worry, they won't finish the dungeon, honey. Your head is safe. Oh, what's over here? Fabulous prizes. I definitely have enough for an upgrade or two at this point, but
Yeah.
no one needs to see that tedium of me scrolling through all the blood-filling animation.
The place is so metal, you have to headbang to get in. Yeah, it's so metal, you have to bang someone else's head.
They've done this
So
effect before.
cinematic, it's not even real.
Yeah, this is how we got to the sewers earlier in the game.
And then, like, 5 foot away was the stairs back up.
Yep. An actual loading screen for the first time. There's been one or two other ones, but they're extremely rare.
Yeah.
Alright, gods, you happy? I don't think they're happy. I'm gonna try and find a way to crush me. With enemies. Okay, I'm not sure why I didn't do PTE there.
I'd recommend you take out the Arcus first and then just go hunting the Harpies.
Yeah.
Seems like there's significantly fewer archers than there are Harpies.
There will be once they're done respawning. Which takes a long time. Yeah, those are done. Look how pathetic the flame jet is. No wonder I missed it.
Yeah, but maybe we've been overselling it with the term jet, really more of a gentle burp. The flame kitten burp, kitten hiccup doesn't quite have the same oomph.
I instantly respawn. Done? Guy's done. Get the rest of the day off, buddy.
What are you still doing here? It's over. Go home.
I didn't feel like respawning. Okay. More archers, I think.
Like all of them.
Sure, stay out of reach for the entire duration of the rage. The one time they go non-aggressive. Strange coincidence. Guess that's a new move. These harpies. Congrats to them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not seen them do that before.
Yeah. They have been getting new moves as they've been upgraded. This new Ares variant can do that.
Looks like these are the last two. Oh, no.
Famous last
Well,
words.
I spoke too fucking soon, didn't I?
Every time.
If it wasn't for the conveyor belts, this would be just tedious.
Yeah. It really loses its climactic punch. 10,000 harpies in.
Yep. I was okay with the first 7,000, but after that, didn't want to play anymore.
Smashing them. Sometimes they let me do a combo.
Yeah, to anyone watching, if you think this is boring, it is.
Yep. Just off screen. I know you're floating there. Last one? No, of course not.
Oh, thank God.
Yay. Now I die, of course. What do you got to say about Zeus? Doing the cathedral stealing. Oh, it's supposed to be a battle.
Well, it looks more like he's trying to cook the guy's nipple.
Yep. Zeus is so unconcerned with battle. Okay, I gotta pull it. And put this in my pocket.
Note, this box will change significantly across the games.
Yep.
Kratos, your quest is at an end.
Oh,
You
we're
are
done.
the first
Roll
mortal
credits.
to ever reach Pandora's box. There is still time to save Athens. You must bring the box back to my
Not that
city
the goddess
and use
Athena
it to
has
kill
any
Ares.
kind of vested interest in that or
Return
anything.
to Athens, Kratos. Return and save my city.
The fuck was all that about?
Go save Athens. I don't care about Zeusins or Poseidonins. Athens. No one fucks
Sparta
with
can just go
Athens.
fuck right. It can just go fuck itself right away. Also, get ready for the best anticlimactic moment in the game.
Oh, we gotta push it. You can only drag it from one side. We...
Unfortunately, it's going to be a couple of millennia before shopping carts get invented.
Yep.
You cannot defeat Ares without it.
Can we not just open it now?
Okay. Kick it.
Oh, that was... Again, anything... He can kick massive rocks a dozen feet or more. Anything heavier than that is like, meh.
Yep.
After 1,000
Cutscene
years,
go.
Pandora's box was at last freed of its
Sweet,
confines.
merciful cutscene.
Kratos had found the means to destroy the god of war. Far away in Athens, Ares knew
Where
Kratos
Ares has been
had succeeded in his
rampaging for
quest.
7 weeks straight.
Yep.
So, little Spartan, you've recovered Zeus's precious box, but you will not live long enough to see it opened. I will see to that. Goodbye, Spartan. You will rot in the depths of Hades for all eternity.
As the life began to leave Kratos, his thoughts returned to that fateful night. Even in death, the memories, the visions would not fade. For how could he forget spilling the blood of his own family.
Oh, this is still supposed to be a reveal?
Cruel
I thought the last
Yeah.
cutscene revealed it.
God of war.
My wife. My
This is
child.
them actually going, yes, okay,
They will have this part.
he's a kinslayer.
You are becoming all I'd hoped you'd be, Kratos. Now,
Even
with
for
your
ancient
wife
Greece, that was a big
and
no-no.
child dead, nothing will hold you back. You'll become even stronger. You will become death itself.
But as the flames consumed the temple, Kratos realized his true enemy was the god who once saved his life. The same god who had now taken everything from him.
Ares!
From this night forward, the mark of your terrible deed will be visible to all. The ashes of your wife and child will remain fastened to your skin, never to be removed.
And with that curse, all would know him for the beast he had become. His skin white with the ash of his dead family. The ghost of Sparta had been born. In the end, in death, he had failed. As the minions of Ares claimed Pandora's box, Kratos' life faded, and his cursed soul was cast into the fires of Hades. And Kratos fell into the underworld, the river Styx beckoning below, the currents strong enough to carry even the strongest mortal to his eternal resting place. But Kratos had no intention of resting yet. He intended to live, to return to Earth and complete his quest.
Let go, fool! You won't drag me down to that cursed river!
There is a task left for me above. I will see it completed.
It's the captain, just hanging out there the entire game.
Not the last time we'll see him.
It's our big through line for the whole game. Wonderful.
Yep.
So I gotta point out
Turns
that Kratos' family is in the instruction manual. Wife of Kratos is her name. The young and beautiful wife of the Spartan warrior, where all else feared and worshipped him, she was the only one to brave his fury. And of course, daughter of Kratos. Kratos' only child, loves her father, yet is afraid of his fury and rage. So...
Can't remember what his wife is called, but his daughter is called Calliope.
Yeah, manual doesn't spoil that fact.
Yeah, that's not something that you find out until the prequels.
Yep, I believe it. So there we go. We completed all the puzzles, and our reward is a life in hell.
Yep, our reward is the very worst part of the game.
Glorious. Somehow it's going to be worse than what we just went through.
Oh yeah,
Which was
yeah. The
surprisingly
bullshit
terrible.
ramps up to unprecedented levels at this point.
Glorious. Yep. My thoughts exactly.
Could not have timed that better.
These sound effects are fantastic. I'll give them that. This game has great screams. Full credit there. Uh-oh. There's one of our screams.
Yep, this is going to happen a lot.
Yeah, I don't even know why that happened. But, as stated, won't be the last.
Yeah, a lot of the camera perspectives in this area are just completely fucked.
Yeah, like fixed camera platforming over death pits.
Yeah,
Great work.
If there's an opposite of fun, it's this.
Yep. I should have very easily made that last jump, but instead I barely grabbed onto the ledge. You'd think Hades wouldn't want people to get out.
An almost top-down perspective manages to cause as much trouble as an isometric one.
Yeah. But what's the point of this platform? Can I get anywhere from here? I don't know.
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, I think it's just a dead end.
There's quite a few dead ends like that.
Okay, I can definitely get over there. I see a platform over there, but I don't think I can make it.
No.
It's hard to tell. And upgraded versions of the monsters.
Yeah, this is mostly going to be the final versions of the majority of these guys.
You can tell because they're on fire.
Yeah. Well, if they colored them red, it wouldn't really matter much, would it? Wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
We are now in the meat and feast dimension.
Glorious.
If I didn't know for a fact that the Dante's Inferno game had taken inspiration from guys like Beksinski, I'd swear it was just this entire area.
Yeah. It can't be a coincidence, though.
Probably not, no. But the funny thing is, I think we visit Hades in just about every game in the series, and it always looks different.
We have little safety platforms in case I get sick of doing this thing.
And you will.
Indeed. Also, there are some prizes. Wonderful.
Yeah, everything from this point onward should just be... oh, those guys are from multi-shows.
Yeah, they sure are.
Yeah, everything from this point onward should really just be orbs, magic, or health.
Yeah. It's like you said, we almost certainly have maxed out HP and mana. But there is another path leading off to the right there. Maybe that is something better. Hard to say. But you gotta walk towards the camera to find out.
Yes! There's a lot of this as well. Like, the camera angles in this entire section are just fucked.
Looks like we're just making a big loop. This one moves a lot faster than all the others. And it stops moving. And more red orbs. Wonderful.
I think you should be able to upgrade something at this point.
Yep, you are probably correct. Let's find out. Yeah. What do I want to upgrade? Hades would be appropriate, but that's the only thing that's too expensive right now.
Yep.
Zeus I only use for utility stuff, counter sniping, basically.
Yeah.
Medusa's gaze ended up being useless, so Poseidon it is. Process of elimination here. This is gonna take so long. Why do they never speed this up?
It goes so much faster in the sequel, you'll be glad to know.
Yeah. You would hope. Yep. Bigger area, more damage. And we can almost get another level in the Blades of Chaos. Perhaps I will next time I find a chest.
Yeah. You will want to for the last couple of bosses.
Yeah. Because they definitely force me to use them, even though I don't want to.
Yeah.
Pretty frequently already. Only gonna get worse from here. There we finally go.
Might be able to jump across to the left from the platform. Well, it would be north from where the camera goes.
Yeah, let's... Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to go over here, maybe?
Yeah. So I don't remember where to go, I just know that this area is exceptionally aggravating.
Yeah, so like one branch is bonuses, and the other branch is required for progress.
Yeah.
No indication beforehand which is which.
That
Oh, and
will
here's
happen a
snipers.
lot.
I was going to test if I could one-hit kill snipers by grabbing them still, even though they've been upgraded. Just save that for the next one.
No, honestly, if you wind up using save states for this entire area, no one will blame you.
Yeah, it's true. Checkpoints are pretty bad.
They're very sparse in this area, if I remember.
Worse than they should be. What is this? 3 paths, no indication of which is the right one. After I did your obstacle course, Hades, now you're putting me through this?
Oh, and this is just the opening salvo, remember?
Yep. A maze/platforming puzzle. Delightful.
At least it saved your. At least it checkpointed you to here.
Yep. Moments before I get shot by a sniper.
And then he just hits you in the face with his bow for good measure.
Yep.
Just seems unnecessary, you know?
Oh. This was a dead end. Let's meet the Super Harpies. Steal their wings, I wish. Fly through the rest of this area. Gotta use that speedrun tech to fly through the whole game.
Yeah. But how can you click out of bounds when there are no boundaries in this area?
True.
It is a paradox.
I'm just gonna... This is like the room that got me into Hades. 10,000 harpies. Can't do platforming with harpies chasing me, that's for sure. So they gotta go. Yep. Got bored. Can't blame him. Okay, platform towards the camera again. This way. I guess maybe this way. Can't rule it out.
Yeah, as I said, there was interviews a couple of years after the fact where they admitted that when they were doing the Hades section in particular, they were like, we just needed to get something done so we could get kinship. It shows.
I mean, it has no plot relevance. If they had just not had Ares kill you spontaneously, we never would have gone to Hades and we never would have had to leave. And the plot could have progressed normally. So this is absolutely just padding. Like, even if this segment were good, it would just be padding.
Yeah.
Don't think anyone argues.
Once we get past this section, you can basically just pick it up right from, well, a certain point.
Yeah.
You'll see what I mean.
Now I need to do harpies every time I die.
At least you have
this is a lot of
invincibility while you're murdering things.
True, yeah. Canned animations are the ultimate boon of PS2 era games.
I think
Still
I
have their
should
use
grab
today.
that last one just as it was about to fly off the screen.
Probably.
Oh yeah,
one's
now they
fast.
start going twice as fast.
Yeah. Double speed. Hey, save points. And a chest I don't need. Maybe if I just touch it, it'll count as a checkpoint. I'm sure it's a checkpoint regardless. Oh, I was gonna say this is way easier.
Oh,
than
hey,
what
it's
we
the
just
one
did.
merciful point in the game. Fooled you!
Nope. It's even worse. Completely surrounded by snipers.
And the really annoying thing is you can't feasibly jump back to get the health chest.
Yeah. So that again would be jumping towards the camera. You saw at the end of the last video that is virtually impossible.
This game doesn't like making things, I was going to say easy, but at this point playable would be nice.
Yeah. Ran out of ammo before the last sniper died. Oh my god.
Oh, yes.
Damn thing sped up right when I jumped. Okay. The fastest platforms here at the end. To
They're
get
fast, you're
the last
furious.
guy. Indeed. Oh, you're gonna regret showing up, snipers.
There's a health magic chest right up there.
Yeah. Need this. Fill me up. Now. Climbing a wall, something?
No, I think we need to go back down.
Wonderful. Other side. At least it wasn't a required fight. I wouldn't mind. Oh, it's a required fight. Never mind.
Surprise!
I was gonna say I wouldn't mind having some combat to switch things up a little bit, but I also wouldn't mind getting this out of the way, because it is just padding.
I think Back for Blood is based on the same kind of thing as well. Since that's from most of the Left 4 Dead devs.
Yeah, I can't tell how much of a ripoff that game is.
But basically they wanted to do Left 4 Dead 3, and Valve said, we're not interested in doing it. So they were like, fine, we'll take it elsewhere. Worked on it for about 4 years.
Nice.
I don't think rip-off is the right term. It's just basically, this is what we wanted to do that Valve wouldn't let us.
Yeah, you can't technically rip yourself off.
Basically, yeah. But they've been very open that this is what we wanted to do for a hypothetical third game.
Like, I've heard some negativity about that game, but mostly positivity. It seems good enough.
Yeah, it's like Left 4 Dead 2 is basically the gold standard for that kind of game.
Yeah.
The only bad thing I can say about it is that there's not enough. And once you're done with the multiplayer campaign, all everyone wants to do is just play PvP. And I don't really like those kind of games in PvP, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't seem well suited to PvP.
Because you can only play as a special infected, and if you die, you need to wait like upwards of about 30 seconds to a minute to respawn as another special infected. So you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, doing nothing. Whereas there's a lot more randomness to it. The most recent update, the DLC added a roguelike feature where you can go into zombie nests and you can get new items and get tokens, which are another kind of unlockable thing. So there is a lot more to it, and the campaign is about twice as long as 1 and 2 combined.
Oh wow, that is a tremendous amount of content.
Much longer, in fact, because I think there's like, well, combined both games, there's 8 stages split up into 4 chapters each. This has about 8 chapters, and each one is anywhere between 1 and 6 segments long, and you can just stop and pick up from any point that you've reached already. But each chapter can be anywhere between like 15 minutes and a bit more,
Yeah,
depending on what you're doing.
It's always been an infinitely expandable type of game. Like, you could do infinite sequels to Left 4 Dead.
Definitely. And you like one of the things I like that Left 4 Dead 2 is that they just basically went, okay, well, here's just a completely different bunch of characters doing other things. And when they've had them cross over, I was like, did they really need to do that? I would be perfectly happy if Left 4 Dead 3 was just, okay, and here's what's happening in Canada, or, you know, here's a group of French survivors, just because.
An excuse for Mike Patton to do a Canadian zombie voice.
Oh, you're gonna drop all those brains there, eh? What you wanna do is you wanna wash them down with emulsions. My girlfriend's watching and wincing, I can just tell.
Poutine!
Send more Timmy Hortons. So now we have the worst part of the game.
Yeah, I actually seem to recall some kind of, like, trauma memory this dredging up right now.
Yeah, no, this bit nearly stopped me from going back to the game for a long time.
There's a blade right for me. Uh-oh. Just go, Kratos. Ignore the timing. Just gun it. Now, what the fuck was I supposed to do there?
Yep.
Got cornered by the blades.
I think you were literally like another 20 seconds away from the top.
Yeah, I was getting there. I was making progress. About to reach the top of the aggro crag.
Like, they just want, basically at this point, wants to make sure the playtesters could get through the area without it crashing. And of course the playtesters have been going through this, you know, again and again and again, so they were used to it. Well, they weren't exactly used to it being easier or finding it easier than everyone else, but they had certain expectations of difficulty. So
Yeah.
when they were like, oh, okay, that's fine, they just went with it.
Yeah, I totally got lucky at getting there.
Oh, 100%. Just go with it. Just go with it.
Yeah, there just happened to be 4 or 5 spots where the blades aligned perfectly. I don't want to get shot in the back while I'm doing this.
If this were Splatterhouse, you could probably toss them on this one.
Yep. If only this were Splatterhouse. Game that got such a bad rap.
Yeah, we're actually feeling nostalgic for Splatterhouse 2006. I will say the voice acting and writing in that game are still superb.
Yep. I also think the design for about half the levels is great. Unfortunately, it's not the early levels nor the late levels. It's like the opposite of the Yahtzee game design theory.
Yeah, the sort of bad future levels are still pretty solid.
Yeah. I don't want to level up the Science Rage again. I'm just gonna lose it in 10 seconds. Gonna fall through the ground again. Jaffe hired me as a playtester. In this game that came out 15 years ago. No.
When Cher sang the song "If I Could Turn Back Time," this is the exact thing she was talking about.
I believe it. If our health is too low, we're just gonna die from the combat. Oh, perfect. This works great.
You literally got hit like 17 times somehow.
Yep.
So the one small mercy is the fact that all the pillars rotate at the same speed.
Yep.
Hey! Out of bounds again.
Kick me right out of the game.
You look like you were doing too well. Allow us to do something about that.
Yep. I would have made it. But I was still being turned the direction of where my feet were, not where my hands were.
You might have been able to make it if you'd made a jump for it.
Yeah. It seemed like the spikes up ahead were far too dangerous, though. Would have just got me if I made the jump. That was my perception of the circumstances.
It looked like you could have made it from here, but then again, I'm not playing it, so...
Yeah, exactly. You have a better view. I'm laser focused.
Yeah. Well, also, you know how it goes. Like, you don't actually know what's doable or not unless you're actually playing it.
That's true, yeah. No, it's happening again. So close. Oh my god.
Yes!
I can't believe that last one didn't get me. Now for 10 more.
Now do it another 20.
Yes. Cylinders all the way up.
Kratos, it's time for your 9 a.m. pillar flattening. The tops of those platforms just look like the worst biscuits ever.
Yep. It's just gravy I'm bouncing around in.
Filled with jam, but it's not jam.
They're so fast, they do like 10 attacks in a row. These guys suck. I don't think I have to fight them anyway. But there's nowhere else to go, so I guess I'm fighting them.
Yeah. Probably you have to kill them to trigger a platform or something.
That's what I'm thinking. Which has never happened before in the game, but might as well happen now.
That empty space right over there is just big enough for a big-ass platform.
Yep. There's one.
Oh, there we go.
Every kill should get me another one.
So you need to kill about 50.
Looks like it.
At least there's health refills and so forth.
Yeah, not that I'll be able to get them because the enemies are so fast.
Yeah.
So, like, the big selling point of the combat system is that there's, I think, like 25 discrete combat animations you can do, and you're supposed to be able to chain each one into all the other ones. And you can sort of do that by varying up the buttons you're pressing, I'm finding. I just comboed from a heavy launching attack into a spinning series of light attacks. Which is something. That's what the enemies are fucking doing, so I might as well learn how to do it.
Not quite Devil May Cry 3, but we'll take what we can get.
Yeah, not by a long shot. A few free kills from Rage of the Gods. Not nearly enough, of course.
You still have that quick flash attack from the Medusa head. Did that work on them?
I tried it on the weaker versions and it didn't work. Like you flash them and they just turn a little bit gray because they have so much HP.
It's a shame because it could be the perfect time to use it.
Yeah, no kidding. It looks like I've got enough space to jump to it, but apparently not.
No.
One Satyr disagrees.
I think you need at least another 2.
It's only spawning 1. So, are we good? Music stopped. That's a good sign.
Okay.
Didn't even need my health chests. Hey, why not? Get the prizes. It's barely a nightmare to get back onto the main set of platforms. I had to build an entire
Make this a
vertebrae.
ramp, but you know.
Yeah. And then they put guys at the end to snipe you.
To be honest, the second I saw them, it was just one of those freeze frame moments.
It would have been very funny.
Knocking you off and having to do all that all over again.
Yep. Would have been hilarious. Not worth it.
This should be the end of Hades, though.
Hope so. Yeah, we're getting a CG cutscene, so probably.
Suspiciously convenient.
Yeah, good thing it wasn't 2 feet to the left.
Man, how funny would it have been if it just landed right in your head?
I would have loved it. Kratos is a bad guy. Doesn't deserve to get out of hell. I do love that murdering his family cursed him with the punishment of clown makeup. But only the white part. Apparently he already had a red stripe on his body this whole time.
You have been sentenced to join the Insane Clown Posse.
And
Yep.
not a moment too soon. I only finished.
It's ironic
eating just
because, you know, they're all about family.
Yep.
Are you?
Now that is an interesting question.
Kratos, Phago.
Zeus.
Now you must hurry. Athens needs you.
But how did you know I would?
Athena isn't the only god keeping watch on you, Spartan.
It's Zeus.
Complete your task, Kratos, and the gods will forgive your sins.
Zeus!
Yeah, they're not exactly subtle in this game. It's like a big, dumb Hollywood movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of debate at the time as to who that strange gravedigger could have possibly... It's Zeus. You know it, I know it. Children fresh out of the womb know it.
Yep. Like, I legitimately love how dumb it all is. No cleverness whatsoever. Yeah, screw it at this point.
This game has all the subtlety of a kick to the Joy Division.
Yeah. But it's still gross and perverted and just fetishistic about gore.
Yeah, but not in a particularly fun way.
I think it's in a pretty fun way. Like, it does have its serious edge to it, like, you're supposed to feel bad when Kratos gets violently impaled in a very, like, exploitative way.
Yeah, it just, to me, it's always felt a bit too... I think what the word for it is. I suppose when you get down to it, it's just so incredibly try-hard.
Yeah.
Like everything in the first game. Second and third aren't quite as bad about it because, you know, Kratos gets pasted left and right,
Yeah.
and is actually, you know, he does receive some measure of retribution, I suppose, for some of the things he does.
Yeah. And it is worth noting, this is David Jaffe's self-insert fanfiction character.
Yeah.
Like, this is
And
his
the-
retelling with him as Kratos. And that's why
The really
Kratos is
ironic thing
infallible.
that Kratos as a whole is closer to the Greek ideal of what a hero should be. But hey, the combat's going to be about to get a lot more fun. Remember those guys who were fighting at the very beginning of the game and how they were like really difficult? They haven't had their health boosted or their attack. You have.
I certainly have.
This is one of the bits I genuinely love about the game is that you're still fighting enemies from the start of the game, except now it's like it feels a lot less even.
Yeah, these are like the tier 2 Minotaurs. They can still block me all day long, unfortunately.
Yep. It's really nice because you can, like, you really see how far you've come in terms of your destructive potential.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem like they locked us into this combat arena specifically to show off, like, look, you can kick everybody's ass now with no problem.
Pretty much, yeah.
Even if you screw up,
like,
they can barely hurt you because your health is so high.
It's like in games where the first 5 minutes they show you stuff that you're going to be doing at the end of the game, but kind of in reverse.
Yeah. I was hoping for a one-hit kill.
Not quite.
Not there yet. And we have the strongest weapon in the game, so not there ever.
You're getting kind of stymied by the fact you're in a narrow corridor and the camera's freaking hell out.
Yep. And all the enemies have automatic dodge moves.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter how much damage you do, they can just frame perfect dodge. They staggered their shots. Figured me out.
Quit it. Stop.
You're gonna regret this.
Just wait till I get over there.
Yep.
It's gonna take another 5 minutes, but, you know.
You'll be sorry. Minotaurs still aren't worth my time. Hey! Got a nice formation going. Formation broken.
It'd be a lot more imposing if they could take more than 3 hits.
Yep. Oh yeah, before we get too far away from the ICP jokes, Kratos, Fago.
Oh. What does
Didn't
it
want to miss
taste like?
that gold.
Blood and vengeance.
Yep. Couldn't miss out on pure gold like that. What's your deal?
Oh, it's the Oracle.
Kratos,
Yep.
return, but too late. Ares has taken Athens. There is no more hope. No hope.
Oh well.
Just in case you thought there was a single character in the game who would manage to get through it alive.
Seriously.
Technically speaking, Kratos didn't manage it.
Yeah. Getting right down to it. Okay, now we can, I guess, upgrade this for a 3rd time.
Resolutely not touching the Blade of Chaos.
Yep. They're next in line. More power.
It's possible to upgrade everything 100%, but it requires finding every single last hidden chest, and
Yeah,
just get time for that.
exactly. You get like a bonus costume for it. For what that's worth. Okay, they're suggesting there's a boss fight ahead.
Kratos had traversed the desert of lost souls, bested the deadly traps of Pandora's temple, and escaped Hades itself. There was but one task left.
Zeus! Do you see now what your son can do? You cast your favor on Athena, but her city lies in ruins before me. And now, even Pandora's box is mine. Would you have me use it against Olympus itself? Kratos, returned even from the underworld. Is this the best you can do, Father? You send a broken mortal to defeat me, the god of war?
After thousands of years, Pandora's box was finally opened. The power of the gods unleashed.
Make my monster grow!
I'm a big Kratos, and I want a big cereal.
Just a mortal.
I'm a big
bit as weak as the day you begged me to save your life.
I am not the same man you found that day. The monster you've created has returned to kill you.
You have no idea what a true monster is, Kratos.
Yeah, remember in the legend how Ares was also part spider?
Makes me like him more. I'm rooting for Ares now.
I mean, in fairness, we've been rooting for Ares most of the game.
Yeah, no kidding. Look at how tiny buildings are.
It is a very cool visual design.
Yeah.
This background.
Wonder how soon after War of the Monsters this was.
Let me check.
Yeah. So David Jaffe is credited as original concept for War of the Monsters. Did not even get close. Better be able to skip this cutscene.
So, God of War came out March 2005.
Same month as Devil May Cry 3.
War of the Monsters.
Kratos had traversed the...
Yeah, War of the Monsters came out 2003.
Interesting. So Jaffe would have already been working on God of War.
Yep. Development. Okay. It started development in 2002.
Yeah.
So it would have either been in the pre-production stage or they were working on it concurrently as it was winding down.
Well, Jaffe's only credited with original concept for War of the Monsters. So,
Guys, wouldn't it be fucking awesome?
Yep.
Hang on. I think so.
You guys ever heard of a thing called movies? What if we ripped off all of them?
There's a Frenchman called David just in the next room with his ears to the wall and a glass tumbler.
Yep.
He's movie you set.
Jaffe and Cage.
Movies, but no.
Yep. The disgraced video game auteurs. Jaffe and Cage.
God, that would be the worst sitcom ever.
Yep. These are the Daves I know. These are the Daves I know.
Here's David Cage. He thinks he can make games. These are the Daves I know.
Here's David Cage. He thinks his developers are slaves. God, I'm on fire.
Why do you resist me, Spartan? You test my patience, Spartan!
So you gotta do a button mash thing, and then... Ugh.
Yeah. This was peak gaming back in 2005.
Game of the year. Every year.
Greatest of all time.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, this is a pretty good boss fight.
Oh no, the really annoying thing about Suzu is the fact that you've got, like, the final boss rush is amazing. Genuinely some fantastic shit.
Yeah.
Do you feel the rage that drives your blades, Kratos?
I'm 100% certain I hit triangle there, but I guess I was too slow.
At least it gives you a decent amount of health and magic back
Yeah.
every time you knock them out.
Basically have infinite shots at this fucking QTE that I hate.
I think he regenerates less health every time as well.
Yeah.
He barely took any hits that time.
What?
You test my patience, Spartan!
It is a portion of a second that you have to do each section of the QTE. I've actually never seen QTEs this tight before. In any other game. I will never forgive Resident Evil 4 for inventing them.
And then for Resident Evil 5 for making them but worse.
Let the rage of the gods drive your
Okay, 2 stabs. Now what?
Now is hug time. No. Shit!
I have taught you many ways to kill a mortal, Kratos. Flesh that burns, bones that break. But to break a man's spirit is to truly destroy him.
Superhero landing.
Do you recognize this
Early.
place, Spartan? The
This is
location
the
of greatest
2005 version of a Marvel movie.
Perhaps there is a chance you can undo the deeds of the past.
The nightmares that had haunted Kratos for the past 10 years had now taken form and
Ooh,
substance.
do we get to re-kill his family in gameplay?
His past stood
And
before
they can die.
Okay. I thought we'd get to,
You
like,
can
manually do it.
probably guess what's coming next.
Yep.
But this is a very cool fight.
What's
Yeah.
happening?
So I just talked in a recent video about
By the gods,
Jonathan Beard's development studio
you.
and how they were going to make a Watchmen game where you would commit the JFK assassination as the comedian.
Oh,
Yeah. In
it's
game
not like the Watchmen game we got was that particularly good.
Yeah.
Let's see how it could have been much worse.
Yeah, I talked all about the history of it
There
in
is
that recent
nothing
video,
you can
but
put in my way to
the
stop.
short
I will
version
save
is
my family.
Zack Snyder, while he was making the movie, heard about the bottle rocket version that they wanted to make of the game, and they loved the idea. Zack Snyder thought it was a great idea. He wanted to oversee the whole project, but WB wrote up a bad contract and had to go into renegotiations. And during the renegotiations, they signed up to do a different game, which ended up never happening.
Your most recent Twisted Metal video?
Exactly, yeah. Because Jonathan Beard also directed Twisted Metal 4. Yeah. And Splatterhouse before he got fired. You could actually draw like a 6 degrees of separation line between every video game I've ever Let's Played.
That's both interesting and slightly depressing.
Yeah. Small world video game development. Save me, Hades. QTEs waste a lot of time. Give all the other Kratoses a bunch of chances to stab my family.
And there's a few hanging around the back with the Thunderbolt.
Yeah, naturally. We've also gone through typical game progression and unlocked all the magic spells.
Just picturing one of them going, hey, you're not supposed to use Rage of Sparta against Spartans, that's not how that works. Katina rules lawyer dick.
Just hammering buttons. There we go. The inevitable.
Yeah. The reason, if you...
Too strong.
What was it? Like a scripted failure? Bad ending.
Yeah. But no less a viable one, strangely.
True, yeah. May as well be canon.
Yeah, if you actually go up to your family and with the circle button over them, you hug them and give them your health back.
Yeah, I should probably do that more often. Hopefully it's a canned animation.
I can't remember, but I believe it lasts as long as you hold the circle button or until they get back to full health.
Press F to hug your family.
Vampire hug! Yeah, when I said this section was time for hugs, I was not joking. Not even a little.
Very un-God of War, God of War. But you could see this coming out of a Marvel movie, if ever a Marvel movie had the balls to, like, have a dead family subplot.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy did. It's like the first 5 minutes of Star-Lord running away from his dying mother.
Yeah.
Tony Stark's an orphan.
True. That, like, in any of the movies I've seen, has been irrelevant.
Yeah. Black Panther, I think, his dad gets assassinated in the first 5 minutes.
True,
no one else has watched it.
That is definitely his origin story.
Yeah. First time I saw it, I didn't really enjoy it much. But the problem is you can't really say that because everyone automatically assumes you don't like it because you're racist.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, I don't know, it just didn't grab me as much as some of the others.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as the Dark World or anything, but I was like... I think the big problem as well was they did that thing where Killmonger has a very, very, very reasonable point to make.
Boy.
And then they have him kill someone randomly. Because he's the bad guy.
Yeah, that's the worst. I actually like Thor the Dark World because the Dark Elves fly around in giant crucifixes, and their whole thing is they're trying to take the world back to the Dark Ages, and I was like, they're Catholics. The villains are Catholics. The Norse gods are killing the Catholics. I like this movie. That was my headcanon. Okay, I can be knocked out of the hug. For future reference. But doing the hug is, like, smart. Significantly prolongs the viability of this area.
Remember when this came out, this was considered to be like one of the most chaotic fight scenes in all of gaming at that point.
This is a shitload of enemies, I'll grant them that.
Oh yeah.
Like, all on screen at the same time, all doing different stuff.
Yep, like 10, 15 straight minutes just of sheer carnage. Great.
Yeah. No loading times, no slowdown. A tactical marvel, and Kratos locks onto his family when he's done with all the targets. I almost walked right off the edge.
Kratos had done.
Don't see my new magical implements of death.
He had saved his family.
Kratos, please take us home.
Do you see, God of
Ugly
War?
child.
You took them once, but you'll never have them again.
You cannot save them, Kratos. You gave them up in your quest for ultimate power.
You're literally wearing their ashes right now.
For everything you gain.
Not that price.
Jim.
I didn't want them to die.
No price is too high for what I offered. And you rejected me. A god! Now, you will have no power. No magic. All that is left for you is death!
Oh, not again.
You should have joined me, Kratos. You should have been stronger.
By the gods.
The battle was not over. The gods, it seemed, had a final gift for Kratos.
So stupid.
Yep. And it's the dumbest thing, but also excellent foreshadowing.
Now,
And pretty cool.
Yep.
you will see how strong I am.
So this boss fight is Tug of War.
Hey, not bad.
Took them to the end of the game, but they finally did something different.
Yep.
Problem is, though, because of the constant back and forth while you're fighting Ares, this fight can go on forever.
Yeah. Imagine, like at this point, even if I do succeed, it'll take longer than if I just die.
Yep. I think
hell was that
in an
move?
interview they said they basically wanted this bit to be kind of like Mortal Kombat,
It's not
where
unlike
rather than
Mortal
just
Kombat.
being a straight up boss fight, they wanted it to feel more like a fighting game.
Yeah. It's got a bit of that vibe. Hey, I won the QT. Lucky me.
Yep, gets you a few free stabs as well.
Yep. I always predict when I should roll, and 100% of the time for the entire game, I've been wrong. Every enemy attack is slightly slower than it should be, based on the animation.
All your strength comes from me.
QTE itself doesn't seem to matter, it's just the aftermath to get a bunch of free hits.
Yep.
Gives himself iframes for a long time.
But winning the QTE does take a chunk of bar off them, but
Yeah.
really it's maximizing the amount of action you get afterwards. I mean, even if you do this bit 100%, it still takes forever.
Yep. Yeah, he can just put himself into an invincible state. Right there, if you get hit once, you also get hit a bunch of times.
Yep. And he also has that multi-leg hit, which does at least 4 or 5 hits.
Yeah.
And he can just do it in the blink of an eye. You have no chance to... Like, you literally don't see it coming because you have no real kill for it.
Yeah. He also does it every time he gets any hit in. Like, that's his follow-up. There's a bunch of free hits.
I think later on you can also, like, chain it. So he does, like, 2 or 3 of them.
Wouldn't be surprised. Okay, I can get hits while he is summoning his rocks. Getting his rocks on.
Rocks on, rocks up.
You cannot defeat me, Spartan!
There's this Hades attack, which is undodgeable as far as I can tell.
Yeah, can you still block?
Maybe. I'll be the time to find out. Okay, yeah, it can be blocked.
Yes.
But his damage output dwarfs my own.
Yeah.
I could not dream of killing him that quickly.
I will show you what real power is.
Okay. I'll just stand here and block for a while.
Beg for your life, mortal!
I hate games that have block buttons, quite frankly.
Yeah, you should be able to face tank everything.
Yeah, or at least dodge. Dodging's fine.
All your strength comes from me!
I did not remember the rocks having that big of an explosion radius.
Oh yeah, it is gigantic. I'm learning. He's got a little taunt after his combo. There it is.
Now you will be truly tested.
Okay, fired his rocks into the wrong direction.
Yeah, every time he does that taunt, I can't hear is anything other than Teacher Emma's version of Richard Nixon.
Yep, it is awful close.
You should have seen the goddess
It was
Aphrodite.
I who saved you in your time of greatest need.
I haven't forgotten, Ares. I remember how you saved me.
That night, I was trying to make you a great warrior.
You succeeded.
That is a pretty badass line, I'm not gonna lie.
It's about as clever as Kratos gets.
Oh no, he's lactating blood.
Kratos had
He said Ares was Steve Bloom, because you can barely tell.
defeating a god.
Yep.
Ares was no more.
Not his best role, quite frankly.
Not a patch on Guilmon from Digimon Tamers, no.
Yeah. I could have gone for an annihilating second bullet at some point.
The city
God, I
was
love
saved
Stride.
and will thrive again.
Genuinely, I've got the manga
same
in
could
the
not
complete
be said
series.
for Kratos.
Nice.
For as
That
he
is like
sought
as
to grow
shonen
his
as a show can
soul
get.
With the help of the gods,
Well, the last episode
The
is
truth
basically complete
was
distillation of
revealed to
shonen tropes.
Athena,
Yeah.
Stop.
rid me of the memories that haunt me still.
You have done.
I only
well,
ever watched a few
Kratos.
episodes on like Adult
Though
Swim,
mourn
or maybe it was even
the death of our
Toonami,
brother, The gods
but they are
in
highly
It would have been.
entertaining. Yeah.
promised
Such a
your
good show.
sins would be forgiven, and so they are. But we never promised to take away your nightmares.
More interesting than the climactic
Your gods
conclusion
will
of
never
God of
forget
War.
the terrible deeds you have done.
in the
Yeah,
end,
that thing she says
knowing the
where,
visions
you know,
of his
she
past
says, we
would
promised we'd
never
forgive
leave
you, we
him.
didn't say anything about
Kratos
curing
made
your
his way to
nightmares.
the bluffs.
True.
That's gonna bite her on the ass in the next
Aegean
game.
Sea.
The gods of Olympus have abandoned me. Now there is no hope.
Oh god, the game's starting again.
Cast himself from the
Well,
highest
the game has
mountain
lapped
in
itself.
all of Greece.
Gonna have to play it from scratch.
After 10 years of suffering, 10 years of endless nightmares, it would finally come to an end. Death would be his escape from madness.
Couldn't even do that right, could you?
The fate of Kratos was not as it seemed. The gods had other plans.
Should have de-equipped Poseidon's trident before you did
Born
that.
aloft with a feather, Kratos found himself risen from the sea and placed on solid earth.
You will not die this day, Kratos. The gods cannot allow one who has performed such service to perish by his own hand. Ares' tactics were brutal. His path of destruction had to be stopped. But now there is an empty throne in Olympus, and a new god of war is needed. Take these stairs, Kratos. They lead to your ultimate reward.
You were the title character all along, Kratos. Jump
So,
again.
do you know about the secrets here in this next section?
Not at all.
Okay.
I like that bloody
once
sword
you
in
get
the
into the
background.
throne room, there's a little thing that you can do.
Interesting. I'm gonna go re-equip that bloody sword.
Hoist it onto your back.
Yep. New game plus. 50-foot long sword.
Yeah, you do keep the Blades of Athena into New Game Plus, which is kind of
Ah,
cool.
interesting. Like, what are they? Like golden plates chaos?
Basically, yeah, they're just reskins of your standard blades. I don't think they have any special properties or anything.
Mount Olympus, they just gilded the entire city.
The place was designed by Donald Trump.
Must be.
Save your game for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, might as well.
See those two statues there, the
Right.
Minotaur and Ares.
Yeah.
You can't destroy those. It takes a while, if I remember, but you can destroy them for a thing.
Why is this Minotaur important enough to be one of our, like, noted defeated foes?
Yeah, like Ares being on a flint, yeah, that makes sense. But he was just a really big Minotaur with cool armor.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to stand on the platform behind him and start attacking.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Camera doesn't like it.
Yeah, and it takes forever to destroy it.
Let's see how forever it is. Like, at this point, if I didn't know better, I would assume it was indestructible. Leave. Wonder if Rage of the Gods will make it go any faster.
You can double check and make sure it is both of them. I'm fairly certain it is, but
And there are chips flying off, suggesting that I'm doing something. It is slowly filling up our Rage of the Gods meter. Maybe that's the trick. You fill up your Rage of the Gods, and then it makes the other statue break faster or something.
yeah. Basically, if you want to know what it does, if I remember, one of them gives you like 99 levels of ore, so you can upgrade everything. The other gives you.
Hey, there it goes.
Okay, might have been wrong with that one. If you destroy the other one, it gives you a telephone number that back in the day you could call up, and you get a special message from Kratos. which is words to the effect of just wait for me to show up in God of War 2.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, there's videos of people that recorded it back in the day.
Yeah.
But it was a really fun thing for people to do. And of course, naturally, you could only call it in the States, so it wasn't much use for those of us outside.
Yeah, that is kind of cute. Like, Siren did a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah, with the websites and everything.
Yep. Siren Blood Curse does have a phone you can call, and you will get a video message of a zombie screaming at you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it had a lot of live action sequences, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Everything in that game was... Basically, the entire game is rotoscoped.
Yeah.
And from that point forward, throughout the rest of time, whenever men rode forth to battle for good cause or for evil,
But I will keep a statue of Ares in my throne room.
of the man who had defeated
Oh, it's not a statue,
God.
it's taxidermy.
They were driven
I believe it.
forward
Had him stuffed
by
and mounted.
Kratos, the mortal who
The
had
ultimate
become the
indignity
new
of God.
god of war.
God, I'm bored.
So yeah, I guess that would have been the stinger scene if we had gotten that phone number and called it up.
More or less, yeah. There are a few bits and pieces that get unlocked once you go back to the title screen.
Oh yeah, I saw in the treasures menu, there's a bunch of crap that unlocks when you beat the game.
Yep, there's a whole load of, I think it's the Challenges of Olympus, which are just not fun. Platforming and combat challenges. That's where the unlockable skins are. There's also a couple... Steve. Dude.
Poor Steve. He's a big fan of that NES game, Scat.
Turns out he's a big fan of 1940s jazz. But yeah, there's also a couple of cutscenes which get unlocked. One which is unlocked for beating the game, and one which I think is unlocked for finishing it on God mode, which is the hardest difficulty setting. Both of which are completely contradicted by later games in the series.
That's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, like the very next game completely contradicts one of them. I think the one that you get for unlocking God mode, I might be wrong, but the other one is rendered pointless by the third game. It can still fit into canon if you're generous, but
Takes a very open interpretation of what is shown.
Very much so, yeah. Because one of them involves Cronus, who you very decisively kill in the third game.
That's for damn sure. Too much of making of.
The Monsters of Myth one, I remember, is early versions of monster models, some of Kratos' early designs as well. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, but there's a tremendous amount of nudity in here.
Oh, yeah. You get to see, if I remember, there is
when it came to the
so there's one which is might not be yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
Character Graveyard. There's an early design for the Medusa in here, which gives it 4 tentacles instead of 1 tail.
Ah, nice. Crappy mask on the Minotaur. Or the,
For some reason, they
Centaur.
designed them to have no skin.
Yep. Skinless centaurs. Why not?
That kind
Simian
of
ogres.
ape-like design for the Cyclopses shows up in the third game, I believe.
Yep. Although for some reason it's called Frogman.
Yeah, I mean, the skin color kind of looks like a frog, but really it's more ape-like.
Yeah, like a minor palette swap. And there would be no reason to call it Frogman. Don't know what this is, but it has a see-through part of the texture. more Cyclopses.
It's like, wow, we were just really bad at designing enemies, huh?
Yep. Only came up with 10,000 versions of a Cyclops. Getting close to the final version here. Like a zombie Cyclops.
The Undead one's an interesting design.
Yeah.
But it looks more like something from World of Warcraft.
Doesn't quite fit with the game, but I mean, there are a lot of creatures that look like zombies in this game.
Yeah.
And this guy definitely should have been in the game. Kratos, version 1. Giant in a diaper.
Yeah, just looks more like a sumo wrestler in tinfoil.
So I am kind of surprised we beat the game this fast. What should we do on Thursday? I was not prepared.
Yeah, I kind of figured that we would get this done today. Because once we, like I said, the majority of difficulty in Hades is just getting past those fucking pillars.
Yeah, it's all padding. Once you get past the padding, you're all set.
Yeah, that's the Medusa I was talking about.
Yeah.
And she also looks like she's wearing a string bikini for some reason.
Yeah. Cyclops had a penis. David Jaffe and Jonathan Beard are like the same guy. Jonathan Beard got fired from Splatterhouse for putting dicks on all of his monsters.
I mean, if they were taking it as these are literally wild creatures, yes, it makes sense. But when you put it into a game, it just seems really exploitative.
Yeah. Like, there's no reason to do it. Like, clearly, you did that on purpose. It's not for realism.
You knew what you were doing, and you kind of liked it.
Exactly.
Just be honest with us. Yeah, I think that's the main problem I have with the game, is that it's well balanced for about 80% of it. And then there's this 15% just right at the tail end that completely sucks. And then the last 5% is, you know, the last 3 bosses.
Yeah, definitely. Overall, solid. Hasn't aged great.
Yeah. I'd say these days it's a decent 7 out of 10. But
totally.
Even its immediate sequel is so much better.
Good chance we'll look at that eventually, but I don't think we're going to jump right to it on Thursday. I'm God of War out.